What's going on, guys? My name is Seraph with the Staggering Dragon, and today is the first, session number 0 session for our Curse of Strahd campaign. Out of 5 players, we had 2 show up, and we rolled up our characters and decided that we were able to roll up Savage Hood, the Ghostwise Rogue, played by my little brother James. He is basically going to be like Macho Man Randy Savage in a way. And then we have Cloud, the Tabaxi Bard, who is... I'm not really sure how she's going to be played, but she is definitely going to be using the Tabaxi. The Tabaxi just fit Christiana's character really well. For the session 0, what I had them do is, after we were done with character creation and came up with the backstory of the 2 characters that we're playing fully, we had them roll. I didn't have them roll. I took the character sheets away, used the lore sheet that I made up, and I let them play as werewolves. They were sent off to attack a village in Faerun, off the outskirts of Daggerford. And basically the way I set it up is I built these PC vampire variants, or not vampire, werewolf variants, that were attacking this village. And the idea was that it was combat in 3 rounds. So we had, first round was like the surprise round, where they are attacking, and there's children, commoners, and guards. And the children and commoners and the guards of that round couldn't even hit them. They didn't have silvered weapons. So they ran in, they started a killing spree. At one point they attacked a child and just obliterated him. But the whole idea was to collect blood. And the more blood they did, the more blood that they got, not only affected how they were, like how the damage they were doing went, but it also made them stronger. And the whole idea was for all the characters to get enough blood to become the second in command of their pack. All in all, I thought it was really cool. If I can, I'll post some pictures up here. But I was afraid that they were going to be like, oh, this is kind of gruesome, where we don't want to attack children. And originally, Christiana, she didn't want to attack the children. But then she thought about it, and she was like, well, I'm a werewolf. Let's kill some children. One thing to say is, this isn't, like, their characters are not werewolves. They were just playing the bad guys so that when our first session comes out, they can attack, or they can kind of go up to this village and see, what the werewolves did. All in all, I was really surprised watching their attacking, their maneuvers, and kind of they decided to come out on 2 separate sides of the board. Christiana came out behind the barn, and James came out by kind of like where the carts were positioned. I ended up allowing James to use his strength to pick carts up and throw them. Yeah, I just, really cool. I thought it was fun. And all in all, I was really surprised. First round was like the surprise round. The werewolves are attacking. There's only a few people of each in the area. Second round was they had to... more people came. It was like the massive panic. People are running. People in the village. I assumed it was. I basically wrote that it was a big village, that they were, and they were in the center of town is where they had gotten to. So people were coming into. People were running through the center trying to figure out what was going on, and some priests came. And then the third round was when the guards with the heavy artillery, they were harder to hit. They ended up not being that much harder to hit after all of the bonuses. But they ended up using They all had silvered weapons, so they could all actually damage at this point. And they were able to go through, and the big NPC that I had set up, the big good in this case, he went down no problem. I could not make a dice roll to save my life on him. He was I had to do a little bumping behind the scenes, and they ended up remind me later. But all in all, it was well received, I think. But the way the combat worked is children were worth 1 blood, and they were also 1 AC, 1 hit point. So all they had to do was roll to hit, and they would basically die. But I made it so that I basically made it so that the children would be I still made a roll damage, even though it really didn't matter at that point. Commoners, I used the commoner out of the monster manual for 5e, which is what we were playing, and they were basically easy to hit. Commoners were worth 5 points. Then there was the guards, who were worth 10. They were basically veterans, I'd like to say, with a higher AC and a higher HP. And then there were priests, guard captains, or the guard captain, and the mayor. They were all worth 20 points. Priests could heal and do magic damage, or radiant damage. The guard captain had the most hit points, and the mayor was basically able to rally the forces, or if he was going to die, or if he died, which he died in the first round, he came on the board, he was able, it would ensue an even more fear of panic in the commoners and the children, and they would run off the board. And all villagers and commoners that ran off the board, children and commoners that ran off the board, were considered lost. You could not gain points for them. Pardon me. All in all, I think everyone really liked everyone. My 2 players loved the fight. It was crazy. We had at one point, James threw a kid against a door. It was really gruesome, like how you would expect a werewolf fight or a werewolf attack to be in a horror story. And that's really what I liked and I wanted to pull out there. In my notes, well, I don't really take notes while I'm playing, which I really need to do. It was a massacre. It was all, in total, like 65 villagers that was all 3 rounds, including guards and everything. And then I know, like, in the first round, like, a couple of them got away because I forgot about the mechanic that I put in where they were running off the edge of the table, meant that these werewolves couldn't get them. So they would be lost points. Pardon me. So we are playing Curse of Strahd. We're obviously using the werewolf hook, which I have to work on now. I think we're meeting every other week. I'm hoping we can get more people to come in, because I'd like to run for more than 2 people, but if I can't, that's how it's gonna be. But all in all, for our first session, and this being our I totally just had a brain fart. But for this being our session 0, and the first encounter thing being something I completely just came up with on the fly. Well, not on the fly, I actually wrote it out, but I think it worked out 10 times better than I thought it was going to. Some gripes that I had personally, which doesn't affect the party whatsoever, is I planned on having the werewolves. Actually, give me 1 second. I ordered the werewolves from Reaper, and they are the Reaper Bones werewolves. And I painted the first one, but I wasn't happy with how he came out, and I couldn't get it to do what I wanted to. So The ones they played with were the primed ones, and they're just basically primed. But I was able to use my new terrain. That was cool. I'm actually, honestly, really excited for this campaign. Just kind of looking over their character sheets. They are, I think this is gonna be really cool. We've got, obviously 2 really stealthy characters. I know Cloud, the Tabaxi Bard, has the background of a criminal, and Savage Hood has the background of a hermit. So I'm really liking the way that these characters are coming out. For this being the first, I'm saying way too much, but I got to get through it. For this being the first session, or the session 0, I couldn't have asked for something to work better. 10 out of 10. I had fun. From what I gathered, my party had fun using, like I said, something that was completely made up. Well, obviously the entire game's made up, but you know, something that was completely just, you know, homebrew. This was my first real shot at homebrewing something. So anyway, I'm gonna get up out of here. I gotta get ready for work, and thanks guys. If you like what's going on here, hopefully this is gonna be the first of hopefully many YouTube videos. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If not, cool. But this is basically just the update for my group. Anyway, I'm gonna get up out, guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a good one.